2 months in and I'm already being evicted.
Oh, look, an eviction notice.
I tried to start a car dealership on a budget. Can we start a car dealership with under $5,000? Well, right behind me is the shop that was gonna do it all. And in under 2 months, I'm already getting evicted. It's an absolute freaking nightmare. I am so deep into this shop monetarily, my time, everything. But in today's video, I'm gonna show you the bright side. My new shop, which is a little bit more expensive. We're gonna bring our cars over. I'm gonna show you where I'm at. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. This is starting a car dealership on a budget. Let's get going. You all may remember this Ford Explorer, let's say poo-poo brown. That Ford Explorer should be selling today. This is a teaser to an upcoming Z3 video. Right here is a boat we're restoring. 1, 2, 3, 4 are supposed to be parking spots for my car dealership. And then you may remember this Escalade, my chop top Cadillac Escalade. Well, in this series, we're about 3 or 4 videos in. I want to start a car dealership, get a dealer's license, get dealer plates and access to auctions nationwide on a budget for as little as possible. This shop, $1,000 all in. I split it with someone, $500 every month for this unit to start a car dealership. I could not find a better deal, but there's a catch, there is a caveat, and it backfired. Now, if you saw in like video 1 or 2, I showed you that this shop I'm kind of inheriting. But there are old Honda parts and floor mats and steering columns and exhausts and just so much nonsense in this unit. Just so much taking up space, and it goes all the way back here. We have heads and alternators and instrument clusters. Well, the idea with me and my new shop was that I am going to help the previous owner sell everything off and transition myself into this unit. He is an older gentleman, and I don't want to give somebody else's business out to the world, but the idea was he wants to transition out and I am going to transition in, all while helping him sell off all of these Honda parts. Well, after making videos and responding to hundreds of Honda people, he changed his mind. He wasn't quite ready to let go of anything. So we are at a stalemate, but it gets worse. The partner that owned this garage owns all of these parts, and he's been out of town for a month. So although there are people that are interested in buying all of these Honda parts, he's out of town to meet up with them, so we still have a lot of Honda parts. I have one car in the garage and no other space. None of this is mine. None of that is mine. And there is no storage anywhere, but that right there is mine, and that right there is mine. Oh, and a couple of these boat floats. So we're essentially partners in this transition. However, partners need to communicate. Partners need to be respectful to each other, and partners need to learn how to work together. So although I try to be respectful to a toolkit that isn't mine and a workbench filled with parts that are not mine, it wasn't good enough. My one thing in the garage that I'm splitting, that I'm sharing, is in the way. Now, paying for a shop every single month that isn't making any money gets really, really expensive, which is why the previous tenant wanted to take on me. Split the rent, split the cost, split the headache, split the burden. All of it was supposed to be easier. Now we're 2 months in, I've already bought my signage, I've already registered my business at this location, I've submitted my dealer's license. I am so far into the process of my dealership at this location, and just last week I got a text saying, hey, this isn't working out, you're gonna need to leave right away. Why? Because people don't know how to share. I am a partner. I am 50-50 in this unit. I try to be respectful, I try to communicate. So anybody out there, communication is key. If there are ever any changes that you're not happy with, communicate. No one can change if they don't know what they need to change. Now, instead of saying, hey, Craig, you need to leave, this Escalade has been in the garage for too long and it's always in the way, he could have said, hey, Craig, do you mind if I move your Escalade? Yes, absolutely, because the keys are right on the driver's side floor. Feel free to move it anytime you need to. But that's not what happened. And I guess my boat project sat here for too long. Now, despite there being 1, 2, 3rd, and 4th Honda Element that just got removed, these have been here for years. Junk car, junk car, junk car, junk cars everywhere. But my 2, waiting in queue to get work done waiting to sell, waiting to get worked on, are in the 2 spots designated to me. As long as I'm in between that line and that line, all is good. So if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know I'm starting my business from scratch. I'm starting all over. And as a business owner, I'm always looking for the most efficient way to run my business, and that's where today's sponsor comes in, Relay. So running a business, owning a business, trying to grow a business, it's incredibly difficult. Relay can help me and you keep track of your business and keep track of where your money's going, especially when things get chaotic. Now with Relay, you can open up to 20 checking accounts. You can follow and track your income. You can do payroll, your taxes, your savings accounts, everything's separated and everything's organized. I can pay all of my vendors. I can schedule transfers. I can send wires, and it's all done in one spot. And the best part, I never even have to set foot in a bank. The whole thing can be opened online in just minutes. My bookkeeper and my whole team can have their own login so they can handle what they need with or without me having to give anybody my passwords and losing control. Relay just makes managing your money simpler. So if you're trying to start a business or run a business, consider Relay. Try it out for yourself using the link in my description. You can sign up for Relay, or you can just scan the QR code on the screen right here and take control of your business finances today. Thank you, Relay. Now let's get back to the video. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, I own some commercial property and parking is tight, especially down in Florida. Parking is really tight, and it's every man for himself almost always. So come from owning a shop similar to this, I know that as soon as the spot opens up, it's traditionally going to get taken right away by somebody else with their junk and their projects. But me parking here temporarily to fill these spots and keep them from being taken is a hard no-no. And just like we learned in preschool and kindergarten, you have to learn how to share. I don't want to cause problems with anybody. I don't want to upset anybody, but I also want to share. We're sharing something 50-50. I don't want anything in here. I don't want to take up any space in here. And the idea is to give them as much time as they need and assist them in removing everything. So one day, this can be mine. But if you watch my videos, I move a lot. Even in this video, I go from clip to clip to clip. I move fast. I've already registered my business. I've already got my sales tax ID. I've already got my EIN. I've already got my decals. I've already submitted my license. Everything is ready to go. So when he found out how fast I was moving, he got really upset with me and literally said, "Craig, wow, you move fast." And I said, "Yeah, I told you what my intentions were. I've always been upfront, and transparency is always key." I said it, communication. Everybody needs to know what's going on when you enter a partnership. I said, I'm getting my dealer's license. I'm starting my business. And he said, "Well, I didn't know it was going to happen so fast." I have 3 kids. I have a mortgage, I have a life, I have a house, I have so many bills. I don't work on the sideline in my free time. I get things done, and that's why I've done so well for myself. But unfortunately, I move faster than his pace, and it just doesn't work. So I didn't sign a lease, which is my own fault. He doesn't even have a lease. He's month to month here. So when I asked to sign a lease for my dealer application, he said, "No, I'm not ready for it. I think it's time you move on." So I am 2 months of my own time invested in here and thousands of dollars invested here. We're talking $2,000-ish plus a couple months rent. So I'm trying to stay under a $5,000 budget, and we're already going to blow that just because of the time wasted. Now I know this, and I've learned this lesson over and over. Finding a cheap way to do it can sometimes be the most expensive way to do it. Now I've wasted 2 months of my time, and I've wasted thousands of my dollars. Hey, let's take a pause from that and give you an update on my Bronco. We have new plugs, new wires, new coils, new fuel lines, new brake lines, new brakes, and the exhaust is going in there very soon. Our Bronco is going to be up and running very soon, and we'll have another video on that. In the meantime, my Coyote Mustang 6-speed 5-liter V8 with 400 plus horsepower, almost 500 horsepower, is getting work done too. We're doing coilover suspension. We're doing full exhaust from headers all the way back with exhaust cutouts. This thing's gonna be incredible. Then we're doing wheels, tires, and bringing this back to life. I'm not quite sure if I wanna make it a drift car or if I wanna sell it and make some money. I mean, if I have a drift car, I don't drift anymore. It's going to sit, but it's really fun. And I own this car for like $4,000. Here are my old coilovers and springs, which apparently have already been swapped out with all of my Flash Shark parts. Shout out to Flash Shark. Wow, if you look deep down in there, those shiny things, I don't know if you can see them. Those are my new headers. I have my new coilovers already installed on both sides. This will be its own video. And yeah, if I look in there, my Flash Shark coilovers are already installed. So this right here is the entire setup. I have front coilovers, I have rear suspension being installed, I have headers to exhaust cutouts to mufflers. I wanted the exhaust cutouts because I loved the way that Coyote sounded with wide open exhaust, but it was pretty annoying all the time. So I have it when I want it, I don't have it when I don't want it. Thank you, Flash Shark, for all of that stuff. I'll actually put a link in my website down below because I'm doing an exhaust and some aftermarket parts to the Bronco with parts that I found from the Flash Shark website as well. If you're looking to upgrade anything in your car, definitely check out flashshark.com. Again, there's a link in the description down below to see what they have for your vehicle. I'm gonna get the Escalade out of here, my favorite vehicle that I own. Probably have owned this longer than any other vehicle I've ever owned as well. And we're gonna take it over to my new shop where you get to see where Flying Wheels Auto Sales is officially starting. So you're actually catching the weirdest story right in the middle of a video. There is a woman at the end of this building waiting for an Uber, pregnant with a special needs baby tethered to her hip and a child in a car seat. She came to purchase this thing. Now I have no title for it because it came with the purchase of a foreclosure home that I bought at auction. So I bought a home at auction and everything on the property came with. This was abandoned. Logan just asked if we could just throw this car away. It is so disgusting. It's so gross. But we have the dumpster here, so we have to throw everything out while we can. Maybe we'll find a treasure. Show me what you found in there. That is just literal hair. A bag of hair. So this is a good explanation of what the entire house pretty much looked like. This right here. Every inch of this car, just like the house, was filled with things, nonsense, bags and boxes. You can throw that floor mat out. Oh, gross. So I listed it for sale, no title, as is, selling for parts. Like, it will never be registered. Someone messaged me on Marketplace and said, I'll be there at 2. It's now 3:30. They never showed up. They asked me if there was a PNC Bank nearby. I said, yeah. They showed up after PNC Bank is, not they, she showed up pregnant in an Uber. The Uber dropped her off in an industrial park, which is sketchy as all being. And she said, so how do I get a title? And I said, I have no idea. There's no title for this car. It was abandoned. I'm selling it for parts, scrap, whatever. You got, the buyer can figure out. She said, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I said, I don't really know what you're supposed to do either. So we Googled how to get a title together. I'm not going to leave a pregnant woman with kids in this situation, but she put herself in the weirdest situation. So she came here asking for a title and how to register it. She spent $100. She lives over an hour away, $100 to get here. I assume she's a single mom because there's no man with her. And she didn't buy it because she has no cash and no idea how to get the title. And she's going to spend $100 to drive an hour away again in an Uber. She's waiting for an Uber right now. And she didn't look like she had honestly, they looked homeless. I feel awful, but I didn't put myself in that situation. That was so odd. That is the reality of selling cheap cars. Like, the people you work with, deal with. I try to have sympathy for people, try to help them. I offer to let them sit in an air-conditioned car or inside the garage till the Uber shows up. Can I drive them to the Wawa up the road? All of that puts so much liability on me putting a baby and a child and a pregnant woman in my car. Don't put yourself in those situations, but I was trying to be cordial and helpful to a single mom pregnant woman. Geez, that was weird. Still weird. So I'm in shock, clearly. That was the weirdest situation I've ever been in. Cheap cars, that's what happens. All right, so I love this thing. I cut the roll bar off. I hated the roll bar. I love it without the roll bar. We're gonna take the Escalade and the boat to our new shop, show you the new shop, talk about the details of the new shop, what it's actually costing us, and where we're at. How much longer is it gonna take, and how deep are we into this investment? How long is it taking? How much is it costing me so far? Now, just to put in perspective how much space I took up in this garage, I had the Escalade in here. I had my Jeep Wrangler, piece to the roof, and I had my floor jack underneath the Escalade. Everything. So for me to move out of this shop, 1, 2, 3, 4 items. That's how much space I took up in here. It's just too much. I was told it's too much. There's too much stuff in here. I can't do it. It's happening too fast. So I wish I just knew. I tried to be so transparent and upfront because I didn't want this happening. And it happened inevitably anyway. I got completely effed, and it doesn't matter to him. He got a couple months free rent out of it. I love this truck, number one, but this situation is so weird. They're still out here waiting for their Uber or Lyft or whatever. It's 90 degrees outside. Hey, are you okay? Just checking to make sure. You have a lift on its way? All right. Can I get you a drink or anything? No? Okay. All right. Bye-bye. So strange. I do not feel wonderful about leaving a single mother of 3 on the side of the road. I'm speechless. I don't know. All right. I'm going to block it out and move on. Look at where I live. So I'm going to jump all over the place in this video. What you see right now is an industrial park. It is a gated, fenced industrial park. This will not qualify for a dealer's license because it is fenced and gated. It needs to have public access. When I first started in Orlando, I got my dealer's license in a unit that was these 2 units. But the reason it qualified for a dealer's license was because it had enough space for an office. So there was no wall right here. I just taped a 10 by 10 area, put a desk there. That was my office. The rest was show space, storage space that I could show off as a showroom. And because there was no gate It was open access to the public. That's why it qualified. That was the cheapest I've ever paid. I think it was like $383 a month back in 2007 or 8. So it was like the cost of 2 units, really. That's how I got my dealer's license the first time. This next spot we're going to, the idea is similar. Here is where I've just been storing cars. So I just the other day sold my golf cart out of this unit. I've been selling golf carts, no title required. People come, they buy them, they leave, they're happy. It's so easy, so simple. I also stored this Escalade in here before I had that other shop that we just left from. So this was my temporary storage for cars. And because there is 0 parking available in Florida for trailers, I also pay for 1 and 2 spots to keep my truck and my trailer. And unfortunately, even though I just detailed this truck, you can see all the acorns falling, and like there's some type of like sappy, I don't know what it is, it's textured all over my truck. I literally just detailed this when I parked it here, and you can see the roof. So this job isn't easy. Like what I'm trying to accomplish is not simple, and it actually is expensive. The shortcuts usually end up being the long road, so just beware. So I've been paying storage for over a year for those 2 spots, but I need the truck and the trailer to transport things. So as long as those 2 make me money, more money than the spot, it's worth having. Check this out though. Look right on top of that wheel. He's gonna run away. Lizard, I hope those things don't cause damage. And before I had that other shop, I was doing work out of here as well. There's clearly no power, so because I had no power, I've been using these. I have a few of these things. This is my Blue Eddy portable power. Plug my plugs, my outlets into a USB-C, USB charger, DC output and input. I mean, this thing will run for days and keep lights and power on for me. And this is my small one. This is my Elite 200. It is heavy. But I'm gonna bring this to my new shop as well because I haven't called the power company yet. I don't have power there yet. And then behind door number 2 is something I haven't seen in quite some time. Oh, good to know she's still here. This is my 1984 Honda CB125. I got that for my birthday, my first birthday. I just told you how old I was. It has 979 original miles on it, but this is the one that I love. This is my baby. This is a 1994 Dodge Viper RT10 with like 9,600 miles. I haven't driven this thing in months, which makes me really, really sad. The other problem with it, it just sits here. Now, when I first stored this car, rent was cheap. It was like 150 bucks a month. Now, doubled it now that all their sale, the prices that get you in the door are gone. This is $270 a month for this unit. So I'm paying $270 a month to store a car that I don't use. That's what, $2,700? Oh my God, that's $2,700 every 10 months. Add another $500. It's like $3,300 a year I'm paying to store a car that I don't use. And that's a car payment. I own this car and I'm currently paying a car payment to store it. Florida is so, like New Hampshire, I have unlimited storage, and I move here and everything is tight. Now, I'm sometimes hesitant to show all my tricks, secrets, tips, and everything, and I do worry like, hey Craig, you're putting it all out there, someone could come by and steal your Viper. It's locked, I have the keys, I have my own security camera in each unit, and there are security cameras on the facility. So I feel decent there, and I'm putting in cameras in the new shop too soon. So we're gonna head over to my new shop. I'll show you what it looks like, where it is, and what we're going to do with it, as well as what it's going to cost me. Welcome to the new Flying Wheels. We have an entrance way, we have an overhead door, we have parking spaces for 2, unfortunately. Let's see what the inside of this place looks like. As we enter, you will see, I don't know, probably 1, 2, 3, 4-ish cars inside here. I'll put my toolbox in that back corner. My office can go right there, and we have storage above. This is it. This is the new Flying Wheels. We could have gone bigger, we could have gone better, but we're doing it on a budget. So going through my parking lot, we have space. I mean, this is my space. So we're gonna paint the walls. We have a house fan? I don't know. We have a ventilation fan. I have storage, which is huge. Storage in Florida is so difficult. And then we have an office. So I will put some drywall up, put some lighting, put a desk in here, and we'll have office, we'll have power, we'll have a compressor back here, we'll have my tools back here, and this is my shop. We'll get a lift in here, and we can work on our cars. Now, I showed you the storage unit. I explained that that's how I started. That was how I started in Orlando the very, very, very beginning when I had no money. So you saw what the storage units look like. Then when I restarted in New Hampshire with Flying Wheels in 2010, I got a unit just like this, 1,200 square feet, including the office. And it was $950 a month 15 years ago. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. I didn't even realize it was 15, almost 16 years ago. Jeez, I'm crow. This is pretty much what my original Flying Wheels in New Hampshire looked like. And we're gonna start all the way over from scratch. So, oh, look who's here. Hey y'all, welcome to my Start a Car Dealership video. Remember this, Brady?
Yeah, we cut that off.
You contributed to that.
We did.
Yep, this is the new shop. This is where you will be getting your first job. And yours? This is it.
This is great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It is. For a one-man show, maybe I'll get a little helper and that's about it. That's all I need.
Little helper.
Yeah, I'll get a little helper to help out in
Put all
here.
my Christmas stuff up there.
Don't even think about it. Don't you even dare put your Christmas stuff up there. Yeah, that's it. This is my office, or will be my office.
Turf it.
Turf it. This would be great for indoor soccer, yeah.
What about epoxy it?
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do is epoxy it. Yeah, and we'll get a lift in here.
You're renting this, right?
Yeah, until he'll sell me the entire complex. All right, so looking at it, I'm not gonna have enough space to fit 2 SUVs. So this is tight. And then trying to like maneuver into this angle is gonna be tough too. This is, starting from scratch on a budget is not easy. But this is how we started the first time, and this is how I'm gonna start the second time until we grow. So slow, calculated growth, right? I don't want to invest a ton of money into Flying Wheels. I mean, I could, I don't need to, I don't want to. I have other ventures to focus on as well, which is part of this video I'm going to show you. You thought this was over? It's not over. We have more to show you of what's going on behind the scenes with Flying Wheels and all of our other projects. All right, back to my middle shop that I got evicted from, and then there's a little bit more. So here's a couple positives about this place. I told you it took several months for the approvals and everything else for that previous shop. This one, there's a sign guy in this complex. He already has the sign cut for my glass. He has the sign cut for the road. I have already submitted my application for the town for the approval for an auto license. They already approved it. They approved it back to me within a week. Now I have to get a surety bond and insurance, which I'm going to do next, and the license can get to this address. Change my business address with the state, submit my license, and we should be good anytime now. So we are back here at my, what was supposed to be my shop, which is the one I got evicted from. And as my wife is leaving, she mentioned it. She said, you know, place is pretty gross. I don't know how I would feel about coming to look at a car for sale in a place like this. So from a female perspective, I think she's spot on. It is filled with literal junk cars, just one junk car after another junk car, junk tires, junk parts. Just the place is pretty gross and pretty embarrassing, to be quite honest. I went in on it because it was cheap. It's $500 a month. So to go on a budget, I really can't think of a better place. I mean, I have a couple exterior parking, I have some interior parking, I have a garage to work on cars. For $500, it's perfect. But from the standpoint of the consumer, like how it's trash here, tires here, there's a washing machine and a shopping cart. Like a homeless person probably lives back there. This isn't really appealing to any person that wants to show up and buy a car. What type of representation am I making? I am trying to justify myself right now, rationalize why I'm leaving. Just junk everywhere. But to be quite honest and in full transparency, I was hoping to take over the unit slowly, not push anybody out, let the partner take his time, assist him, help him, and then eventually have that entire unit be mine, because it's hard to find units. And then I have my spots, I have my unit, maybe buy his tools from him, some of his equipment. Look at this, just junk. That is junk everywhere. How would you guys feel about pulling up here to look at a used car? Probably not great. But once I got into the unit, like this building, I would love to buy the entire building. That's what I own in New Hampshire, and I love it. I want to own more of them. Industrial, commercial, flex space is what I want. And that would have been a good opportunity to move in, meet the landlord, get in on good terms, and then when he was done, he or she is ready to retire, maybe it's my opportunity to take over. That's what happened with my shop in Hampstead, and I would have liked for that to be my shop rentals one day. Now, in one of my first videos of starting my car dealership, I showed up to this place. I had met this guy originally. He was wonderful and he was so helpful, and this place was packed with cars for sale. It has a front line, meaning people on the road can see these units. I even showed him in my video. This right here, best price used cars. See, it says dealer on the sign right there. That's a friend of mine. He passed away, like, out of nowhere, just passed away like a month ago. And already those shops are taken over, freshly cleaned. Like, his entire life was there, and within a month, his entire life is gone. It's crazy. Everything you worked so hard for your entire life, and 1 month later, it just disappears. Wild to think of that. By the time I heard that he had passed, that shop was already taken over. And I don't want to just slide in this, I don't know. This is a video of just me talking. I'm sorry. I'm talking a lot, way too much. It's just sad that he's gone. Everything he worked for, 30 days later, gone.
The next day.
It's the next day. I have someone coming for the Ford Explorer for $650. I'm selling it for parts. I just need the space out of here because I can't have any cars here in like a matter of a few days. We're gonna get the Z3 out of here over to my new shop. Hopefully get rid of this Explorer. The Escalade's gone, and that just leaves the boat and some just miscellaneous tools and equipment here. For anyone wondering, I just sold that Explorer for $650. Basically, I sold it as I listed on the bill of sale. In running condition, sold as parts, 4 parts. No title, as is, no warranty or guarantee expressed or implied. There is no title. There will never be a title provided ever. This is an abandoned vehicle left on property with verbal permission to keep or sell by previous owner. So all the fine print is here, signed, and he drove off with it. I sold it for parts, and he threw up like a handwritten paper plate on it. That was cheap cars. That's what happens with cheap cars. So I've teased you with this thing for a few months now because I haven't touched it. We've been in the process of the dealership, the foreclosed house. Moving into this place, that was a complete waste of time. So this thing should start. Let's see if it starts. Key in, turn key. Ah, fires right up. Smooth like butter. And it's a handshaker. Gen Z anti-theft device. Okay, let's get this back to my shop, see if it fits in the garage of the Escalade. We are at the current new shop, and I have some good news. It looks like, even with an Escalade in here, granted I have a big car and a small car, it looks like I'm gonna be able to fit this in here while there's still a car parked in this spot, so that's good news. But from now on, I should probably put the first car all the way in the back corner. So I'll probably get 1, 2, I think I could get 4 to 5 cars here. 2 out front, so 6, 7 cars, and we're keeping our storage next door. So we should have like 10-ish cars to start. The Z3 could fit all the way in the back. That's probably the smallest car I'll ever own, unless it's a golf cart or motorcycles, but I will have toolboxes back there. So as of now, Z3 fits. I have $650 in cash because the Explorer is gone. The Escalade is out of there. I have a boat and some random stuff at the old shop that I just got evicted out of. I've never been evicted in my life. Now I've been evicted. I can finally put that on my checklist. All right, that's it for now. I have one more thing to show you, and then we're out of here. So I just got off the phone with my insurance agent, and the way I got insurance, so heads up to anybody looking to get their dealer's license. I have a friend that's a dealer. I just asked him who he's using. So not every insurance agent offers like umbrella policies or car dealership insurance. So you might have to dig around to find your surety bonds and your insurances. So I got a number from a friend, called him, got a quote. I'm waiting on a quote back. Florida insurance is going to be nuts. I don't even want to wait to find out how much it's going to cost me compared to what it was in New Hampshire. But because I was previously insured and previously owned a car dealership, it should bring down that premium, I hope. Fingers crossed. Now, with that in mind, this is our next video series. This right here is what I've been calling my murder condo. I bought this place at a foreclosure auction. I bought it for the cost of HOA back fees. Like, they owed a lot of money in HOA dues. Whole story, whole backstory. 2-bedroom, bedroom, office, full bath, full laundry room, kitchen with granite, table, furniture. It did not look like this when we got it. I still have people's stuff here. Booties from the 1940s. Like, these, I think, had a date on them somewhere. Some of these booties had a date on them. Let's see here. 1936. And then like all kinds of old things, including first edition books, which I think I've shown in other videos. And down there is a literal treasure chest that we found in the storage room. So as far as the dealer's license goes, you can see how it's not a quick process. I knew it wasn't gonna be. It's typically 90 days. If you're like on your game and you just get things done, it's typically 90 days, start to finish. Find your location, get everything, all your balls and all your ducks in a row, and then submit your application. Then you have to wait for the state to approve, get your license, do the class, get the plates. So it's probably gonna be more like, now that I was set back 2 months, like if I start fresh from now, it should be 2 months, I think, maybe 3 months. Add those 2 months, it could be 5 to 6 months from start to finish. I said I was gonna be done by the end of the year. It's now mid-November. So hopefully by like early Q1, we have our dealer's license. We have Flying Wheels Auto Sales set up and established in Florida. Florida dealer's license, Florida plates, everything is finished. Now, I never told you why I call this place a murder condo, and that's a real thing, that's not an exaggeration. So that'll be our next series. I'm gonna explain what's been going on here. We did move into our foreclosure home. That was a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. I made a video about not getting windows. 7 months later, I can't get my $10,000 deposit back, and I still have no windows. The house, I love it. The equity I bought into the house is amazing, but I left a brand new house with no headaches to move into a project that is consuming my weekends and my evenings. All right, thanks for watching. I know this was a long video, but I wanted to give you an update on my car dealership. Can we start a car dealership with under $5,000? I have not met that threshold yet. So as of now, yes, I still can, but we don't know what our insurance premiums are yet. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later. Have a great day. Adios.